welcome back to Business English, and you're with me, Mr. Suharno, your instructor. Well, in the previous video, you learned the notions or the principles of presentations. Then, in this video, we are going to learn more specifically uh, the presentation itself. And everyone's presentation is divided into three parts or structured into three parts. The first one is the opening of the presentation, the second one is the body of the presentation, and the third one is question and answer. And in this video, you are going to learn more specifically the opening of the presentation. Everyone, the opening of presentation is very crucial for the success of your presentation. Why? Because it is the time when you grab your audience attention. As we know that audience attention is the key for your success in delivering a presentation. Without further ado, let's begin with the opening of the presentation. Everyone, the opening of the presentation is the section when you break ice of the audience. It is crucial for you to put your audience at ease, to set the psychological conditions that the audience feel comfortable. And it is also the section when you build trust of the audience to you as the presenter. Well, everyone, the opening begin with greeting, then follow by your introduction as the presenter, and then the topic, introducing the topic of the presentation, and also talk about the structure of the presentation. And after that, you can move on to the body of the presentation. Everyone, the introduction is the section when you break the ice to put the audience at ease. It is important for the presenter to make the situation comfortable for the audience, to build the trust to the presenter. Well, the opening can be structured into, the first is the greeting, and the second is the introduction of the presenter. Then the third is to talk about the topic of the presentation, and the last one is about the structure of the presentation. And after that, you can move on to the body of the presentation. Okay, everyone, at the beginning, you begin with a greeting. You can greet the audience in such a way that can surprise them. Let me give you an example. Let's say by using local language, so the language that belongs to the audience. For example, when it is the first time you live in Bandung, you can use Bandung language like this, for example. Wilujeng enjing, kumaha daramang sadayana. Okay, then the audience will be surprised. Then they have a sense that the presenter also, you belong to them. Then you can follow by commenting at the city where you stay in. Like this, for example. Well, everyone, this is the first time I stay in Bandung, but I got impression that Bandung is really beautiful and the people are really friendly. I wish I could stay longer here. The greeting is then followed by your introductions as the presenter. Then when you introduce yourself, you mention your name and the company where you work for and the responsibility. Let me give you example. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Suharno. I'm from Pirisankyu International, a Japanese company based in Cilegon Industrial Zones in Indonesia. I am responsible as the director of marketing for Asia and Pacific region. After your introduction, then you can talk about the topic of the presentation. Well, everyone, then what you have to do when you talk about the topic of the presentation, you have to make sure that the audience will get something very useful for them. So it is really important for the audience to lend their ears and eyes to pay attention to your presentation. So at the beginning, you can tell the audience the purpose of the presentation. Yeah, and my suggestion is you can do it in at least minimally 8 words and maximally 20 words. But the ideal number of words to state the purpose of your presentation is 12 words. Okay, let me give you example. Let's say if in your presentation the purpose is to share the techniques of curlifying your hair to the audience, then you can say like this, for example. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, I think you come to the right place. I understand. I know that you come here because you have problem with your hair. You want to curlify your hair. And I'd like to assure you that you come to the right place. At the end of the presentation, you will be able to curlify your hair. Ladies and gentlemen, in this presentation, the purpose is for me to share with you the techniques of curlifying your hair. At the end of the presentation, when you go home, you can try out the techniques and you can celebrate your happiness. Stating the purpose of the presentations is a must. Why? Because it is a promise to the audience that the audience will get something from you. Then, at the end of the presentation, you have to see if you have kept the promise or not. And the last stage of the opening is for you to state explicitly the structure of your presentation. When you mentioned each stage, then you have to tell the audience the exact time, how long they have to lend their ears and eyes to pay attention to your presentation. Let me give you example. Everyone, the presentation is divided into 3 parts. The first is the definitions of the presentation, and it will take about 3 minutes. Then we'll move on to the technique of qualification. It will take about 30 minutes. Then we'll move on to how to maintain the qualified hair. It will take about 10 minutes. Well, the presentation will end up with a question and answer. Everyone, I think that all the stage is very important for you. In business presentation, the audience is encouraged to interact if there is something that is not understood, or probably there is something to ask. So the audience feel free to interrupt the presenter. Well, it is okay because you know that your audience is the king and queen. Yeah? Okay. And you know, in business presentation, it will make the audience understand. It is different from academic presentation, where interruption is annoying and it's disturbing. Yeah? If it is annoying and it is disturbing, then you can tell the audience not to interrupt, yeah, politely. Like, for example, ladies and gentlemen, I think each section is very important for us. Yeah, then I would like you to keep the question until a question and answer session. Okay, everyone. After saying that, then you can uh, tell the audience that you can move to the body of the presentation by saying like this, for example. Ladies and gentlemen, let's move on to the first part of the presentation, the definition of hair curlification. Okay, everyone, that's the end of the video. How to deliver the opening of business presentation. I hope that you can learn something from this video. See you in the next video. Bye.